Good Sunday morning, everyone. I'm Terry Wood, and welcome to the county seat. In recent years, the issue of water has been quite a concern in the state of Utah. We've had hot, dry summers, and we've had a weakened snowpack. And with more population growth in the state, there are competing demands for the small amount of water we may have. Well, some think a solution that they have tried in other areas of Utah is a water conservancy district. But there are pros and cons to that. And that's our topic today on the county seat. We're going to take a look at the issue of a water conservancy district, explain what it is and how it works. First of all, let's go to Cameron Porter with this overview.
Water. It's an essential part of our lives. We drink it, we keep ourselves clean with it, and we use it to water our lawns, our crops, and our gardens. But Utah is no stranger to water shortages. And what if one day there wasn't enough water to go around? Well, that's a reality that many in Cache County may be facing in just a few short years.
You know, that's a reality for some of the communities in the valley already. There are communities in the valley that do not have adequate supply and have limitations on being able to grow.
The problems in Cache County stem from a lack of coordination between municipalities and private companies, all working to provide services to their own customers or citizens. This uncoordinated effort often leaves some areas with a surplus of water and other areas with not enough. Steve Osgathorpe, who served on the Weber Basin Water Conservancy District Board for over 20 years, says that makes sense.
It's kind of not cost effective to have redundant water lines and water lines crossing each other and going by each other, and somebody running out of water and others got more water. Why not basically pool the resources and take care of the needs?
Pooling resources and making a coordinated effort is the purpose of a water conservancy district, which is what Cache County is hoping to establish.
The county has developed a water master plan, and we had that done by an engineering group locally. They came out with some recommendations, and one recommendation was to have a water conservancy district to help all of the different competing organizations within Cache County to have a common goal.
But not everyone is on board with the idea of a water conservancy district. A conservancy district has the authority to levy taxes, and some people are worried that it may affect their water rights.
Here where I'm located at my home in Park City, we're in the Weber Basin Water Conservancy District. We pay taxes into that district, property taxes on our property here. I don't have any water with Weber Basin. All my water on my farms here and at my house we have primary water rights. And so I don't get any water from them, but I have the opportunity, if I developed and whatnot, through them to get water. And so that's a plus, even though it may be a negative that I'm paying property tax into the district. But the way I look at it, it's also protecting my water rights too, because people are looking out elsewhere rather than trying to steal my water, basically.
So, should Cache County establish a water conservancy district? What are some challenges they might face? We'll answer these questions and more when we come back and join our guest panel. For the county seat, I'm Cameron Porter.
All right, thank you very much, Cameron. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll talk to our panel of experts with the things you need to know about a water conservancy district.
There is a place where looking out means looking in, where an impression lasting only a few seconds will be imprinted on a life forever, where courage is forged and innocence rediscovered, where remembering is rewarding and forgetting unforgettable. There is a place where truth is felt and where seeing is believing. There is a place.
Shopping in Davis County has never been better. Experience Station Park, Northern Utah's premier gathering place for shopping, dining, and entertainment. With over 100 shops, Station Park is something for the whole family. Or explore the shopping possibilities this season under one roof at the Layton Hills Mall. Both are conveniently located north of downtown Salt Lake, just off I-15. Come take advantage of special discounts and a wide selection of stores. Visit playindavis.com for more info.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's introduce those who know about water conservancy districts and who are our panel of experts today, our panel of two, actually. Mark Anderson is the Assistant General Manager of the Weber Basin Water Conservancy District. This is a water conservancy district that's been around since 1950. Craig Butters is the Cache County Executive. Cache County is now looking at the possibility of forming a water conservancy district. So thank you, gentlemen. Let's get to you first here, Craig. We saw in the story with Cameron that some of the folks in Cache County have an abundance of water and others may be a little short-handed when it comes to water. Where are these areas? What's going on there right now? What's that situation?
Well, our municipalities, some of them have an abundance of water, but some of them also are going to run short before others do. And so we're looking at the possibility of creating a water conservancy district so that exchanges can be worked out between those different communities. And then we also have a lot of farmland on the west side of the valley that could benefit by having irrigation water that's developed and the opportunity to irrigate some of those lands too. So it's both municipal and industrial needs that we've got.
When you say exchanges could be worked out, would this be taking water from some areas and giving it to others?
It would give them an opportunity to, perhaps the municipalities could work out agreements one with another to exchange water, and that's one thing that we feel like a conservancy district could do.
Would that be a difficult decision here in this day and age when water's in short supply in the West?
Well, I think it would have to be mutually beneficial for each of the municipalities to work those agreements out. And then there will also be future development where municipal and industrial use will be the need for the water. And so irrigation water will be transferred to municipal and industrial use also.
Now, with the Weber Basin Water Conservancy District, Mark, and you have these issues already worked out, is there still any conflict between, say, urban and agricultural interests when it comes to water?
Well, it's been working really smoothly since the 1950s when we were conceived. And we were conceived so that we could provide a supply of water to the growth of those municipalities and those areas that were in our district. As far as any conflicts between municipal and ag sector, you know, we don't promote ag conversion. We let the ag people use their water, and when they're ready to develop or when they're ready to go to a next use, then it's important that that water stay on the ground so that it provides a source of water for the next use. And so we don't try to take away their livelihood or try to coerce them in any way to change their watering uses or ability to make a living.
And when you're talking about agriculture, and you said when the farmers are ready to develop, are you talking about develop their land in further agricultural uses, or are you talking about developing in the urban way that so many areas, rural areas of Utah are developing these days?
We've seen a great urbanization in our area. It used to be predominantly ag, but now very little ag in our area, a lot more urbanization than it used to be.
Have you had any difficulty, Craig, with the agricultural uses in your area, users saying, you know, we don't want to really give up our water?
Not as much lately, or not recently. We have still have a lot of agricultural land in the Cache Valley, and I think it's going to stay that way for quite a while. But there will come a time when that gets converted over to more municipal use, more development. And so as we see more and more development, we will see ag water transferred to municipal use. What we're seeing right now is a lot of projects where our ag water is being piped, and so there's a greater efficiency in piping our agricultural water, our canals, and you lose less water through seepage, through evaporation. So we're becoming a lot more efficient with the water that we have up there in Cache Valley. But the water that we save, we want to make sure that we keep it there and put it to beneficial use.
So you're turning some of those canals into underground pipes.
That's right.
And that would be a further step as if you adopt a water conservancy district?
I think we would see more of that happening and a more efficient development of the water resources that we have.
Cache County's also developed a water master plan, as I understand, and I'd like to ask you about that in a few minutes, how that will play into this whole move toward a water conservancy district. And we'll be back in just a second, right after this commercial break, and talk more about water.
There's a little place on a Utah map where I was raised, where my heart's at, where the sagebrush grows wild and high, and the stars come out at night. Oh, there ain't nothing like being raised in the Basin with a Ute reservation, skiing starvation, that Duchesne County life.
Kanab, base camp for your southern Utah adventures. You belong in Kanab.
Let's be honest, you don't know much about Beaver County. Well, let me tell you about it. It's the birthplace of outlaw Butch Cassidy and inventor Philo T. Farnsworth. Some of the best skiing in Utah is at Eagle Point. You've got camping, Canyon Breeze Golf Course, Crusher and the Tushers Beaver Territorial Courthouse, snowmobiling, renewable energy, Pioneer Car Show, Squeaky Cheese, ghost towns to explore, best water in the country, Paiute ATV trails, Old Frisco kilns, horse races, hunting, fishing, and it's a good place to live. Beaver County, mountains of fun. I could tell you more, but why don't you come and see it for yourself?
Color. It's something that can be seen. But have you ever wanted to reach out and touch it? Experience it. In San Juan County, Utah, color comes to life like nowhere else on earth. Color can be more than an abstract. Color can be your gateway to a new world. Visit San Juan County and explore the past, present, and future in a way that you've only dreamed of. San Juan County. Color your experience.
Welcome back, everyone. We're talking about water conservancy districts today. Cache County is considering forming a water conservancy district. Craig Butters is the executive of Cache County, and Mark Anderson is the assistant GM of the Weber Basin Water Conservancy District, which has been around for about 50 years. So there's a lot of experience there, and we'll see how that worked for him. We mentioned just a few minutes ago, Craig, that Cache County has developed a water master plan. How does a water conservancy district fit in with your water master plan?
Well, the water master plan that we developed was a collaborative effort with a lot of various stakeholders from throughout the county. And we got that group together, and in 2012 initially started looking at water issues that we were facing. And the master plan was actually approved in 2013. And the main recommendation of the water master plan was that if we're going to manage our water properly in Cache County, that we needed to have a water conservancy district. That was the most efficient and best way to manage water. And we've seen that throughout other areas of the state, that water conservancy districts have really had a lot of benefit to the citizens of those areas. And so to manage water properly, to work on the state level with the Division of Water Quality and other groups, we felt like we needed to have that so we can have a seat at the table.
Are you running up against any resistance at all from some people or some groups?
Well, initially, the people that were opposed, I think most of the people that were opposed, we've been able to go out, reach out to them, answer their questions, and bring them on board with our effort. there are still, pockets of resistance, and I think that we're trying to identify those individuals that might have concerns, reach out to them, and help them understand the benefits. I think a lot of concern that people have is the taxation and the ability to tax the citizens, but my response to that is water development does cost money, and we could do it as a county, but it's not as efficient as if we do it as a conservancy district. There will be a lot more efficiencies there. We can use taxpayer funds a lot more wisely with a water conservancy district. They will be able to levy a tax, but the board that will be elected to manage the conservancy district will actually be an elected board that is elected by the public. They will be the ones that will be making those decisions.
Well, are taxes likely to go up then, or water costs?
Not for the first 4 years, because we've committed that the funding that will be available for the Water Conservancy District will be the same amount of tax that the county is taxing right now for our water district. So when the district is established, the county will lower our tax rate a corresponding amount, so that initially for the first 4 years it will not be a tax increase.
Now, with 50 years experience, the Weber Basin Water Conservancy District, do you have these same issues that Craig is talking about? Have you seen taxes go up, or have you managed to placate everybody, or what's happening?
Our master plan began in the 40s with the Bureau of Reclamation. They began studying the Weber River and how to develop on it, and then we were formed to be the local sponsor of the Weber Basin project, which is a federal project. But it has the same concepts, where we had a property tax that was levied, was voted on and agreed to by the public, so that there could be a steady revenue stream to pay back these projects that were developed initially by the Bureau of Reclamation. We basically have two revenue streams. One is the ad valorem tax, the property tax that we've been talking about, and that has remained steady. We have capped ourselves at 2 mils, which is very little. And our second stream is water sales, so revenue from the water sale of the water. And we've developed a series of dams and reservoirs.
I was going to ask you about that. I heard the word Bureau of Reclamation, and
Yes.
that immediately brings to mind dams and reservoirs.
It sure does.
How many?
And we have 7 dams and reservoirs. 6 of them were developed by the Bureau, and then our 7th one was a state project that we did with funds through the Board of Water Resources. And so along with those, we've developed conveyance facilities to take water from those dams and reservoirs through canals, through tunnels, through aqueduct systems. Mm-hmm. We have 4 major water treatment plants that we use to clarify and clean and purify the water. Mm-hmm. And we wholesale that water then to our customer agencies along the Wasatch Front in Davis and Weber County. Also Morgan and Summit County are within our district.
And you were telling me during a break you think this has worked out very successfully.
Yes.
How do you judge that success?
You know, we are very happy with the projects that we have. They provide water for economic stimulus. Without water, we wouldn't have an economy that sustains the people, the population that we have. We have one of the major employers in the state of Utah in Hill Air Force Base, and they've located there in Davis County.
You're in several counties, right?
We are.
Which ones are Weber, Davis?
Weber,
Summit?
Davis, Summit County, and Morgan County. And we do have we carve out a little bit of Box Elder County
Large
as well.
district.
So a multi-county that's working very well.
So are we likely to see more dams or reservoirs in the Cache Valley with a Cache Water Conservancy District?
The state has projects that they're looking at, doing studies right now. I think in the future we will see projects, probably not to the extent that we've seen in the past, just because the funding is not there. But we're going to look at conservation as the first means to try and use our water wisely. But then as we have future needs and water is developed, other projects are developed, we want to have a conservancy district there so that we can acquire and develop our share of that water.
When you say the state is looking at several projects now, would that be over and above any water conservancy district that is established or not established in Cache County?
I believe that the county would like to work in cooperation with the state on those projects, but the other downstream users, like the Weber Basin Conservancy District, they are actively involved and interested in those projects also.
So the Weber Conservancy District would be downstream from the Cache Conservancy District. How are you guys going to work that out?
Yeah, that's a great question. We do have a relationship, a working relationship now as we look at a potential project in the Bear River development. It's actually in form of an act. It's formalized, and there is the opportunity there to have water from the Bear River. There's an allocation slated for Cache County, for Box Elder County, for the Weber Basin Water Conservancy District, and also for the Jordan Valley Water Conservancy District. So we talk about that. We look at our future water needs and when that will be needed for our counties, and we discuss that on a regular basis.
Is the Bear River likely to be dammed up with one of these projects?
How do you feel? I don't feel like we will see a dam built on the Bear River. I think it will be tributaries to the Bear River.
Yeah, there are potential dam sites that we are looking at, investigating. Several of them are off-stream, so there may be a conveyance system to take water to those dams. There are some sites that are on the Bear, and before any decision is made, there will have to be a lot of study, a lot of environmental work, a lot of collaboration and cooperation to decide on those sites.
What's your timetable if you develop a water conservancy district?
That's good. That's a good question. I think, well, of course, they'll be on the ballot this November. Okay. The district will likely be established the first of the year, and then the board will start looking at future needs, future projects, and ways to best manage the water.
So the voters of Cache County are actually going to have a chance to weigh in on this issue themselves. Well, hopefully we're giving them a little clarification today. We'll be back in just a moment to maybe even clarify things further.
What would you do with an extra day in Utah Valley? Explore the Wasatch Mountains? Snap a family photo at Bridal Veil Falls. Cool off on Utah Lake or the Provo River. No matter what you're searching for, you can find it in Utah Valley. Bring everyone together.
149 million years in the making, dinosaurs once roamed this land. Now they're found at the Dinosaur National Monument. Let's take you beyond the bones. We call it Dinosaur Land. You'll find it offers adventures and sights not seen anywhere else in the world. Come to Dinosaur Land, Vernal, Utah. You'll want to stay forever. The dinosaurs did.
I'm a Utah's own dairy producer. I care about the health of my animals, and I care about the quality of food we produce.
Because when it comes to providing quality dairy products, I understand the importance of Utah grown and raised.
And the jobs we enjoy are vital, because Utah's Own supports our communities.
As a consumer, I look for Utah's Own products, because Utah's Own is good for me, and it's good for Utah.
Keeping it here at home, Utah's Own.
The Utah Farm Bureau has always been there to fight for the needs of its members, with discount programs on items ranging from vehicles and ATVs to health and wellness. The membership fees aren't big, but the results are. We've been around since 1916, and we're not leaving anytime soon. Utah Farm Bureau. We work for those who work to feed the world.
Welcome back, everyone. We were just talking during the break, and I was learning something interesting myself here, that the 4 areas the state is looking at for possible new dams up in northern Utah, Cache and Box Elder County. These would be pretty big reservoirs you mentioned, Mark.
Right, they could be. The required volume would be equivalent to 2 Pine Views in order to provide the water that's anticipated with this project. So these reservoirs will be multi-purpose reservoirs. In other words, it's not a single purpose just for water supply. There'll be other amenities like recreation and fishing that would be involved in
boating and all
boating
that you find on Pine View.
Huh? Yep. Yep. So they'll be a great enhancement to the communities.
That's amazing. That's interesting. So as you go out now and you talk, Craig, to those of your constituents and you get ready for the vote in November, what are you saying to them?
Well, I think as we've talked about development projects, we're not tying the creation of a water conservancy district to any one development. For example, a development on the Bear or something like that. We're basically just saying that this opens up a lot of possibilities as to how we can best serve the citizens of Cache County and manage water. We're looking at conservation, we're looking at water development, we're looking at exchanges, we're looking at pipeline projects and things that can use the resource more wisely.
Would this also include flood control?
It will probably include stormwater management and those things that can also be brought into the discussion there. Mm-hmm.
And this is something that you've been involved in, isn't it? Flood control with Weber?
Exactly. The Weber River had a tendency to overflow its banks the majority of the time, and so the reservoirs also act as flood control reservoirs and dams. So we actually regulate and control those and watch it for flood control. And let me just say also that prior to any major project that is anticipated that we've been talking about, water conservation is the key. We as a water conservancy district promote water conservation. We think that's the next best project that we can do as a population, is to save and conserve the water that we have and use that for the new growth of the population that's coming. After we do everything we can to conserve the existing supplies, then there's opportunities, and we're looking at opportunities to provide additional projects for the population growth. I think that's one of the benefits that Conservancy District can do, is larger projects that one municipality can't, and I think that's a great benefit.
Well, we've got about 45 seconds left. Let me ask you both a question that's on the minds of a lot of people these days. You hear dire predictions about the lack of water in the future here in the West. What do you think? Are we going to run out of water in the West?
I don't think so. I think that we'll be able to conserve water, use it wisely. That's what we promote. We are always have an eye to the weather and watch changing weather patterns and conditions, but our project, for example, was built with a 2-year supply. And so when we have a full water situation, we have enough water for 2 years.
What do you think, Craig? Are we going to make it?
We'll make it. Wise water use and planning management.
All right. Thank you both very much for explaining a rather difficult topic that those of us who aren't inside don't know very much about, myself included. I hope you've learned something today. Thank you for joining us on the County Seat.
If you'd like to share this video with your friends, well, you do that right here. If you would like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, you do that over here. If you'd like to interact with us on the County Seat, that happens over here. If you want to watch the next episode of the County Seat, you can catch it Saturday night at 11 or Sunday morning at 8:30 on ABC4 Good for Utah.